Hey peeps, Tyler here with a book review for a book I read via Hoopla, so I don't have it to show. The Red Market on the Trail of the World's Organ Brokers, Bone Thieves, Blood Farmers, and Child Traffickers by Scott Carney. I read it for Nonfiction November for the Give a Shot prompt because, well, you'll see with my review. The synopsis is an in-depth report that takes readers on a shocking tour through a macabre global underworld where organs, bones, and live people are bought and sold on the red market. Investigative journalist Scott Carney has spent 5 years on the ground tracing the lucrative and deeply secretive trade in human bodies and body parts. A vast hidden economy known as the red market. From the horrifying to the ridiculous, he discovers its varied forms. An Indian village nicknamed Kidneyvakam, which I probably butchered, because most of its residents, hate that I used that word, have sold their kidneys for cash. Unscrupulous grave robbers who steal human bones from cemeteries, morgues, and funeral pyres for anatomical skeletons used in Western medical schools and labs. An ancient temple that makes money selling the hair of its devotees to wig makers in America. That was actually perfectly fine, but that particular chapter. To the tune of $6 million annually. The red market reveals the rise, fall, and resurgence of this multi-billion-dollar underground trade through history, from early medical study in modern universities to poverty-ravaged Eurasian villages and high-tech Western labs, from body snatchers and surrogate mothers to skeleton dealers, and the poor who sell body parts to survive. While local and international law enforcement have cracked down on the market, advances in science have increased the demand for human tissue, ligaments, kidneys, even rented space in women's wombs, leaving little room to consider the ethical dilemmas inherent in the flesh and blood trade. As at turns tragic, voyeuristic, and thought-provoking, the red market is an eye-opening, surreal look at a little-known global industry and its implications for all our lives. It was published in 2011, so it has been 13 years. I gave it 5 stars, and this is my review. This was really hard for me to get through. For some context, I was born with Vactral Association. It's capitalized weirdly in my review for a reason, because it's an acronym. I've talked about it before. Long story short, I have a lot of medical issues, and I was born with them. And am a professional patient, as the disabled community often says, since birth, and will be until I die. I'm also a horror fan, but not a true crime fan, and nothing involving doctors or the medical community, even if it's fictional. Like this. Though this is nonfiction, which just makes it so much worse. Because I have to trust doctors with my life all the time. But this is so much worse than anything I've ever thought. And as a writer that writes horror and even body horror because of my experiences, this book has shown me that real life is way more disturbing and outright evil than anything my fictional mind could have come up with before reading this. Why did I read it? I'm too curious for my own good, plus Nonfiction November, and a give a shot prompt. Well, it really does fit that, because normally I would probably never pick this book up. But it was already on my want to read, because again, I'm way too curious for my own fucking good. But, anyway, I do have an insatiable desire to learn about many things and everything. It's just who I am. I almost DNF'd it from reading Chapter 3, the kidney chapter. It was so hard to get through. Not because of the language, but because of how evil people can be. And because now I think my very existence as a disabled person in America might be unethical. My very existence. The book isn't ableist. People, at least not that I saw, people in the red market are just evil. I don't want my existence to be at the hands of people being scammed out of their own flesh, out of others' suffering and even torture. But it could be, and I would never know. The pure body horror in this book that real people have gone through, worse than my disturbed mind could even come up with on its own. I had to take more than an entire day off from reading after Chapter 3 because I was so disturbed I could not continue, and I was really not sure if I even could. And I have never been more grateful to have aphantasia, though I do dream visually and vividly when asleep, but that doesn't lessen the disturbing thoughts. And it doesn't stop there. If you or someone you know has adopted a child and it's a closed adoption, that child could have been stolen. Lots of adoptable children are stolen from people in poor countries, like third world countries and shit, and because it's all about the money, honey. This entire book just screams that money really is the root of all evil. I'm not Christian, but that saying is very true. Some people don't care, not about torturing others or even kids, as long as they get that money. The amount of evil in this world is fucking sickening. Flesh is stolen, scammed, and taken from the poor to give to the rich. And the rich could even be an American poor person, because you're better off most likely than a third world country person. So rich is incredibly relative. I think that's the right word. Flesh is stolen, scammed, and taken from the poor to give to the rich, and most of us have no idea. Flesh always goes up the ladder, never down. People are professional lab rats here. Seems okay because consensual, right? Think again. This book does offer things we can do to help solve this problem. I would like to know how things have gone since this book was published 13 years ago, but 13 years isn't really that long here, and I'm not sure, I have no idea if anything's changed or not. I do highly recommend this book if you can handle it. This is why I don't read true crime much. Fictional horror, I'm good with that. Real life horror, completely different. That's my review. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell if you want to. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day. Sorry about that disturbing review, but if I don't say something, I might just